William Lewis, who it turns out to be this sick-ass rapist, who we do everything in our power to try to get the goods on and who we try to put away, ends up getting off, and he takes Benson on in her apartment, and we're left with a gun pointing at her head. And I can't tell you how many people tweeted WTF over and over and over again, and be like, what am I supposed to do now for the summer? Season 15 picks up a few hours after he has taken her essentially hostage in her apartment, and we don't really know whether she's alive or not. We don't really know what's coming. We do begin to figure out that he hasn't necessarily killed her, but he seems to have plans to, and he's collecting his instruments of torture. Something hideous is going on. Speaking of reading, getting the script for that first episode, I just couldn't believe that they were doing this to Benson. I blame the writers. He really seriously mangles her emotionally and physically, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's hard to read. It's hard to imagine it. And the whole crew is basically slowly beginning to realize that Benson might be in some sort of danger. Because although it's a few hours later, we don't really come back to the crew for like 2 days. She's a completely broken woman. This man is a monster. The amazing thing about SVU is the way that things come out of real life. And this episode, the finale of the last season and this particular episode are based on a real rapist who made his way eventually to New York. If we're kicking it off like this, I have to say, season 15, you just want to see where, sort of how it explodes and what's going to happen to Benson as not just a cop, but as a woman. And for me, now I'm a member of the cast. So season 15 means that who knows where Barbara gets to go with all of this. One of the biggest things for me working on the show right now and working on this particular series of episodes is that, I feel responsible for what's happened to her. I couldn't put the guy away. I did everything I could. And I say at one point this case was a dog from the start, and now it's got fleas. Well, the repercussions are enormous. But I'm too much of a pro, and I respect her too much to you come down on her side crying, I think that's what happens among colleagues who really respect each other. And but it's certainly eating me up. So we're starting the season where everybody's in this heightened place, and Benson is in a kind of danger that I don't think we've ever put Benson in. And for me, the excitement of coming on board to tell that part of the story is pretty thrilling. It's a whole other world when you're starring on the show. This is a completely amazing opportunity for me. Everything comes out of left field sometimes. You never know what life is going to put in front of you. I had worked with Warren Leight on a musical for Broadway that didn't go so well, though we loved the show with all our hearts. And to be invited then because he wanted to come to SVU and want to write a little bit for you. That was supposed to be a couple of guest star spots that turned into 11 episodes. And I always say this, I couldn't have been as good as I was last season if I hadn't had this company supporting me. They allow you to play, and Mariska especially. My first day on the set was with Mariska and Kelly, and I felt like I could do no wrong. So as a matter of fact, today we were filming a scene where I opened the prop, and it had pages from that first episode. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Mariska said, you should take it home and frame it. So then, for that character to become so compelling and so much fun to play on my part, but certainly that people will respond to him at all, is thrilling. And then to be invited back to become part of the whole team here, it's just not where I thought my career was going. And I have to say, it's a wonderful surprise and a tremendous opportunity.